Dear students, I am going to deal with this Python. In this video lecture series, I am going to cover basics and fundamentals of Python. The first lecture is on introduction to Python. We are going to cover the details that is covered in this video lecture is what is Python, characteristics of Python, features of Python, who uses Python, different releases or versions of Python, how we are going to mention comments in Python, and a Python IDLE where we can able to write the corresponding Python programs. This is the agenda of this lecture. First one is what is Python. Python is a powerful, high-level, object-oriented programming language created by Guido van Rossum, released in 1991. Actually, Python is a procedure-oriented programming and as well as object-oriented programming. That means best of all the worlds. That means whatever the best things in different languages that are available, all those concepts are incorporated in Python. Very, very important point. Because of those features, those concepts are implemented in Python. Because of that one, this Python become number one programming language as of today. You got my point? Very, very important point. Day by day, it is a open source, and day by day, many packages, many modules are added to this Python. That is why it become very large and robust. That is so powerful. Robust, you got my point? It has simple to use syntax, making it the perfect language for someone trying to learn computer programming for the first time. That means not only C, one can able to start with not only with C but also with Python. You got my point? It is a multi-purpose language. That means even web scripting, GUI programming, web technologies, we can able to use this Python. Of course, I already mentioned you. Because of that one, now on this date, this Python is number one programming language. It is object oriented language and as well as procedure oriented language. Procedure oriented is nothing but a C like language, and as well as object orientation like Java. You got my point? Same way it is interpreted rather than compiled. All interpreted languages are faster in execution compared to compiled programming language. Strongly typed and dynamically typed. That means strongly typed means whatever the variables that are declared and whatever the contents in the corresponding data variables, those data type cannot be modified while execution. Strongly typed, you got my point? Dynamically typed means at runtime, whatever the type that is decided, that won't be changed at all. You got my point? Focus on readability and productivity. You got my point? Whatever the Python is extensively, whatever the features in Python extensively used, so because of that one, it has more readability. That means easily one can able to understand the corresponding programming language. Because of increased readability, obviously the productivity of the corresponding software that is developed by using Python will be higher. You got my point? These are the simple features of programming language Python. A simple language which is easier to learn, very, very easy compared to all other different languages. Free and open source. It is free. Actually, if at all you want to execute some programming language by using some programming language, you have to pay. But this is free and open source. That means whatever the code, whatever the standard libraries, packages, modules that are available in Python is available to the public, so that one can able to modify, one can able to add. You got my point? one can able to do all those things. Even a normal novice can able to go through that Python website and can able to mention any bug, reporting bug over there, or adding some suggestion, request, that can be done because it is open source. Next one is portability. Portability means it can be, portable to any type of platform, either Windows, Linux, you got my point, Mac, OS, you got my point, different platforms. The same output can be observed. You got my point. Extensible and embeddable. That means this language, this Python language, even can be embedded in a C, Java. You got my point. And extensible, that means day by day many packages are added to the Python. A high level interpreted language. The high level means it is very near to human readable language. Low level means that can be easily accessed to the machine language. You got my point. Middle level means C is a middle level language. That means by using C we can able to do high level programming and as well as low level programming. Low level means machine level programming. You got my point. That can be done. Whereas Python is a high level. That means human like language. Human language like language. You got my point. Interpreted language. It is a interpreted. That means every programming, whatever the in programming, every line is compiled. Every line is checked for any syntax errors, rather than all program in entirety. You got my point. Entire program at once, line by line, reporting of syntax bugs or any debugging will be done. You got my point. Large standard libraries to solve common tasks. Many standard libraries are there. Because of this large base of the standard libraries, this Python is very useful to the many different types of domains of applications. You got my point. And it is a cross platform. That means we can able to in other platforms like Linux, Windows, that can also we can able to execute the Python. You got my point. Python programming and different versions of Python like C Python, J Python, Iron Python, PyPy, like that. You got my point. Who uses Python? Google, public broadcast services, NASA, Onion, like that. You got new source. You got my point. Same way, releases are 1989 by Guido van Rossum, created in 1989. But first version is released, zero version is released in 1991, and first version is released in 1994. Second version 2003, third 2008, 3.6 2017. And the current version is 3.11.4, released on 6th June 2023. You got my point. Very important point. The latest version is 3.11.4. Okay, this is the Python shell or IDLE. You got my point. Where you can able to write your own programs. You got my point. You just type in Google search that Python IDLE, where you can able to download the latest version of IDLE, and you can directly open that shell and you can directly write the whatever the program that you can. You got my point. Very easy. Single line comments can be done with the hash, and multi-line comments can be done with this apostrophes, like reverse, like this. You got my point. Comments span multiple lines used to explain things in more detail are created by adding delimiters on each end of the comment. You got my point. And for single line comment we have hash. This is the IDLE that you will go through, Python IDLE. generally looks black in color. You got my point? Okay, thank you for watching the introduction to Python video.